Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This video is to answer some of the more common questions about the narcissist new supply. One of those questions is the narcissist any happier with the new supply? And the answer is temporarily yes, but in the long term, no. Does the new supply get treated any better than what you got treated? And the answer is no. Should you warn the new supply? The answer is no. Now, there are variables to this. However, as a whole, the narcissist will not be happier with the new supply. The new supply does not get treated any better, and you should not warn the narcissist new supply. So just why doesn't the new supply get treated any better? Seemingly, to the outside world, it looks like they're getting treated better. However, they're not. The relationship is built on deception. It's built on lies. It's built on manipulation. It's built on mistrust. It's not the foundations for a healthy relationship. The foundations for a healthy relationship are honesty and respect and loyalty, which are things that you're not going to get with a narcissistic person. The relationship is being built on deception. A narcissist is selling the new supply an illusion of what life could be like with them. They are love bombing the new supply with that excessive flattery, wanting to spend time with the new supply, gaining admiration from the new supply, doing things for the new supply to gain admiration from the new supply, or to punish an ex, selling the new supply everything that the ex wanted until they can work out what the new supply wants, so that they can gain admiration from the new supply while punishing an ex if they can get their flying monkeys or enablers to let the ex know. A narcissist will be mirroring the new supply so that they can future fake with the new supply. And while that's going off, it can seem better to the outside world as the new supply is being swept off their feet. They're being future faked. They're being sold an illusion of what their future will be like with the narcissist. However, as most of us know, it does not turn out that way. So no, the new supply isn't being treated any better. They're being deceived at some of the most painful levels. They're having their passions, their dreams, their hobbies used against them so that the narcissist can get the supply they need from the new supply. And it is a new supply. Narcissistic people are forever looking for new sources of supply. Narcissistic people, depending on the narcissist, varies on the supply that they require. They might want somebody to look good on their arm. They might want a place to live. They might want a car to drive. They might want financial supply from another person. They might want support from another person. They might want to use somebody to impress another person. They might want to use somebody to destroy another person. They might want to use somebody to influence those around them into believing that the narcissist isn't the one with the problem, when in reality, when we all step back and see the situation in its entirety, the narcissist is the one with the problem. However, there are those who take responsibility for their behaviour that believe they themselves are the problem, while a narcissist doesn't take responsibility for their behaviour and passes the blame over to other people. It is more than natural when you have been deceived by somebody, when you have been devalued, when you have been discarded, when you've been rejected. It's more than natural to feel many negative emotions. These negative emotions usually come from the fact that you've been hurt, and you've been hurt by somebody who had malicious intentions towards you, who didn't care about you. And those feelings of hurt can come out in emotions such as anger, resentment, bitterness, jealousy. However, the underlying feeling is being hurt. Yet a narcissist will twist how you feel to work in their favour. So they're going to claim to the new supply that you're just bitter, you're just jealous, to sell to the new supply how amazing the narcissistic person is. They're going to claim to the new supply all the things that you wouldn't do for them, even if you did do it for them, to get the new supply to do it for them. They're going to smear your name to the new supply of how terribly you treated them, so the new supply feels obligated into treating them better, into working harder, into saving face, into saving their public persona. The new supply will often work harder to make the relationship work with the narcissist. A narcissistic person can move in next door, they can move in across the street, they can move on with a family member. They are looking to literally rub it in the ex's face so that they can find ways to leverage the ex's reaction to work in the narcissist's favour, so that they can get away with cheating, they can get away with deceiving by blaming the ex for the narcissist's unjust behaviour. Narcissistic people feel entitled, so they're always seeking more. No matter what you give them, they feel entitled to more. They are incredibly envious people. Therefore, no matter what they have, they always want more. They are incredibly exploitative people, and they will stoop to depths that you can't even imagine. And that's why we don't see it, because we cannot imagine that somebody would treat us or somebody else like that, at least not to the extent that people like this do. So they will exploit people to get their needs met, and they lack the empathy to care for how those people get hurt. They just use people as leverage for their own gains, for the illusion they're trying to sell the world around them, for the illusion they're trying to sell themselves, the reality they're trying to sell themselves. It might seem like they're treating the new supply better because it's very similar to how it was for you in the beginning, yet it is deception, it is lies, it is manipulation. So the new supply doesn't get treated better. The new supply has to go through everything that you once went through, and it is a painful and a tough experience to go through, with many emotions to deal with. When it comes to narcissistic people, they lack object consistency. So as soon as there is any kind of conflict or drama or distance, they simply do not care. They only care about themselves. They only care about getting their needs met. They only care about playing the grandiose hero to gain admiration, or the woe is me victim to gain sympathetic attention. They have that two sides to them. The admiration phase, where they're selling people that illusion to gain the admiration from those around them, and that envious phase where they seek to punish people, they seek to destroy people because people didn't supply the narcissist with what the narcissist wanted supplying with. So should you warn the new supply? No, it's not advisable to warn the new supply. Even if there's physical violence and evidence that you can potentially show the new supply is often being love bombed in such a way that they're not going to believe you, or they believe that they can change them, they can help them, and they're being manipulated by the narcissist into believing they can help them, into believing they can change them, into believing that they'll not be treated in that way. When it comes to warning the new supply, a narcissist has already got in there first. They've already warned them about you. A narcissist plays so many underhand games that you walk straight into, not realising it's a trap, which works in the narcissist's favour. Simple things such as keeping hold of your possessions, usually sentimental items. So when you're messaging for those back, the narcissist will not be saying what you've sent, but will be saying that you're messaging because you're obsessed, because you want them back, which makes the new supply work harder. The narcissist will be claiming all the things you didn't do for them, which makes the new supply do those things for them, regardless of whether you did those things or not. A narcissist will be using you as a pawn in their games. They'll be triangulating you to get the new supply to work harder. They might even say that they're feeling bad for you, that perhaps they gave up too easily to get the new supply to work harder. Narcissists are looking at playing people off against each other to work in the narcissist's favour. They might be telling the new supply to block you because you're going to try and split them up, which almost creates that godlike status within the narcissist for the new supply that, oh, the ex really wants them back, so I must try harder. So when you try and warn the new supply, it matches what the narcissist is saying. Although it's a lie, although the narcissist has falsified the information and lied to evade exposure, what the narcissist is doing is claiming that you're going to try and split them up. So when you do try to split them up, however, you're coming from a place of trying to help the new supply out, trying to stop the new supply from suffering as you did, the new supply doesn't see this. The new supply sees this as you being jealous, you being bitter, you being obsessed, all the lies that the narcissist has fed. And these emotions can be being hurt, being rejected is painful. And these emotions can come across as though someone is bitter and jealous. Trying to explain what's happened can come across as bitter and jealous. There's so many similarities in the behaviours of finding out you've been deceived, being hurt and being rejected, and looking like you're bitter, obsessed and jealous, even though you're not those things. However, more often than not, because of the similarities, you can question yourself and think, well, am I being bitter? Am I being jealous? Am I being obsessive? Because you're ruminating about everything. And it's natural to ruminate about everything and overthink things because you're trying to work out what the hell has just gone on. And until you've worked that out, you're going to think about it. And it is a very dark place to be. However, you will get through it. And will a narcissistic person change? Will they change for the new supply? No. If they're a narcissistic person, they change their lies, they change their partners, they change their deception, they change the area in which they live, they change everything around them to work in their favour, to avoid changing themselves. So they do not change. It did not start with you. You did not cause it, and you cannot change it. You can only help those who are willing to help themselves. Narcissistic people are willing to help themselves to your stuff. With a narcissist, it's a pattern. They come along and they love bomb, they idolise, they mirror, they future fake. Then they devalue, they insult you, they intimidate you. Then they discard you in some of the cruelest ways. And usually amongst all that, they've been smearing your name to those around you. And then if the new supply isn't working out as they expected, they might come back to hoover you. Narcissistic people to use people as toys to their own advantage. Nobody falls in love faster than a narcissist who needs a place to stay. It's never about the other person. It's all about what the narcissist can gain from the other person. So, what can you do? When it comes to those feelings, you have to use those feelings of pain to work in your favour. You have to find a new aim in your life. And you have to use those emotions as leverage to work towards that new aim. That emotion of pain, that emotion of hurt, that emotion of anger, the emotion of resentment, the emotion of life going into complete chaos around you can send you into survival mechanisms, fight, flight, freeze or fawn. We can fight what's happening. We can try and win them back. We can fawn and just give up and not want to get out of bed. We can freeze and we can become obsessive in certain areas. We can take flight and run from what's happening to us. However, while we're fighting, we're staying in the past, we're staying in that chaos, we're staying in that drama, and we might have to go through a stage of doing that. While ever we're falling, we're not moving forward. While ever we are freezing, we are running away from our emotions. While ever we're taking flight, we're running away from our emotions. What we need to do is use our emotions as leverage to get ourselves out of bed, to find a new aim. And we need to find that new aim in life to motivate us, to get up, to keep going. Because the more we're aiming at something new in our future, the less we are focused on the pain of our past. Now, sometimes we might have to just get into that present moment. When we get distracted by the past or too distracted by the future, we might just have to sit in the present moment with what we are doing and focus on what we're doing, and then realign our thoughts to work in our favour. But always use the pain that somebody else caused you as leverage to make life better for you. The best revenge is living your life well. And you don't necessarily want a narcissistic person to find out about this, because they're going to be envious of you and they're going to seek to destroy you, or they're going to come back and hoover you. So if it's all possible, block and delete the narcissist so that you can't find out what they're up to and they can't find out what you're up to. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support with the channel is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw, and this channel is all about narcissistic behaviour, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.